You need to make your statement right here, right now, and there it is.
He's getting pretty hyped up.
No, and tossed right off the map.
Oh, sick play from Dream Casper.
Dragons will not be stopped.
This is getting out of hand. Oh, take the fight to him. There we go. The end credits are rolling.
That was intense.
Welcome back, guys. Aaron here. It's the last match of the night with Boston taking on Shanghai. Both teams looking to bounce back from a rough time in stage 2. Can they do it? Let's find out. Are you guys ready? Yeah? All right. They're ready. I'm ready. Let's throw it on over the desk. Golden Boy, take it away.
Thank you so much, Aaron, and I'm personally excited for this matchup here. We got Boston Uprising going up against Shanghai Dragons. I am joined, of course, by my esteemed colleagues. We have Reinforced Crumbs and Zoe. I like that one, too. Hit him with it. Hit him with it. And then you. Now, everyone just do it at the same time. God. Yeah, it's Johnny doesn't do it, obviously. Delayed as always. Jeez.
Yeah.
These tank mains these days, you know? All right, well, I'm pumped for this game. I think it's going to be a good one, Johnny.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one for sure. But I'm looking out for Boston to see if they can actually start bouncing back, because they had a really rough start. And if you're going to start bouncing back somewhere, it's going to be the Shanghai Dragons, of course.
Okay, well, you know what? I like that you talk about Boston first, because as a matter of fact, let's go ahead and welcome to the stage your first team. It's the Boston Uprising. Coming in to stage 2 at 1-3, while they did sweep Florida in their last match. This certainly is, you know, a little bit of a redemption time for them. They just need to bounce back. They need to get some W's on.
Yeah, they need to get back. They were a bit stuck in their ways. We saw a lot of Mercy coming out in stage 2, of course, and Mercy hasn't been the preferred hero of choice when it comes to your support backline. So a bit stuck in their ways, but following them playing a bit more Lucio, we know that Kellex is a great Lucio player. I think they'll adapt accordingly, and they'll actually start to shine. Don't sleep on Boston Uprising.
Yeah, definitely shouldn't be sleeping on that team. Now, I got to talk to their ever so lovable coach Huck prior to this match, and he shone a light on their subbing strat. As I did ask him, like, how much time do your bench players, in quotation marks, actually get to play with the team? You know, just to make sure they're not rusty or anything. And he said, not a lot.
Okay.
All right then, but last time we saw them playing on this stage, we saw Mistakes as well as Kalios, and both of them look good.
Yeah.
Well, there's no Gamsu.
Mr. President.
No more Gamsu. They're maybe taking a cue from the Seoul Dynasty. They're trying to make some practice games here just to make sure that they can start getting every single player up to par, so that when the big games come around, you know, playoff stage finals, they can be ready with the entire crew.
Yeah, and you know, I don't want to take anything away from the Dragons here, but we have seen rosters do this in the past. Just utilize different members of their team to try and just create some, you know, cohesion.
Not just against the Dragons.
Yeah, very true, very true. But I'm pretty excited for this next team that's going to be making their way to the stage here. We'll talk all about it in a second. But everyone, let's give a warm welcome to the Shanghai Dragons. Now, while this team is still winless, they did manage to take a game off of the Seoul Dynasty yesterday.
I mean, as a matter of fact, this team has been taking maps from a lot of different teams already in stage 1 as well as in stage 2. Now, of course, we have to mention once again that Dia is not in the lineup. He had to go back to China for a family emergency. So they're currently making some roster adjustments due to that, which is unfortunate to say the least, as Dia definitely has been one of their strongest players. However, they made their game yesterday look fairly competitive against Seoul Dynasty, and they really knew how to deal with the dive comp coming out from Seoul on King's Row. It fully helped them on the first point.
Sure, it was competitive, but it's a two-way street here, because Seoul Dynasty just kept running or full dive into triple and quad tank, which is not gonna work. It is a massive disadvantage. So it looks like Shanghai Dragons at least recognized what they had to do, right? They were running tank into dive, and it worked and got him a win, so why not?
I mean, fair enough. But here's the thing, though, right? And this is a weird question. Is the Seoul B team, quote unquote, good enough to take on the Boston Uprising?
Oh, that's a different. Ooh, that's going to be rough. I don't think so, as it stood yesterday. I mean,
So
you
then,
have
in
considered.
that, so you believe the Boston Uprising is better than the Seoul B team? Because the reason why I make this comparison is because I'm trying over here to find the silver lining, baby.
That's not how analysis works.
I mean, also, you
disagree.
always have to take into consideration that we don't know the inner workings of those teams. We don't know when they decide to run who and what. Maybe that was a last minute kind of decision. Maybe one day before the match they decided, you know what, we're not going to go for our starting 6. We're actually going to field some different players. And then, of course, that shows in their performance. But we wouldn't know.
Voice of reason, Zoe, right here.
I appreciate it. I'm
Keeping us
trying
honest.
Listen here, man. I'm trying to get some picante on the desk.
All
okay,
right,
I'm
all
trying
right.
to get it nice and spicy over here.
What does that mean?
And then it's.
Get a thesaurus.
He literally just translated it for
I
you,
just
Johnny.
translated it, Johnny.
Oh.
Why? Why do you do these things to me, man?
Cante.
We get it. You don't have hot sauce in Sweden.
Yeah.
Okay, it's very clear.
Yeah.
All right. Do you even like hot sauce?
Yes, actually, I do.
That's a good.
Yes.
So then
Wonderful.
we'll give you a lesson
Yeah.
in peppers later
Always
on.
grab the green chili. The green chili.
Always grab the green chilies. What's what?
Wisdom.
Okay. So
You know?
the reason why I asked this is because here's my hot take.
Okay.
I think that I think Shanghai. I think they could do it.
I think you're wrong.
Okay.
That's a take.
I think that, you know, that you got to remember, this is a long league, right? It's a long haul. And the fact that Shanghai might be struggling now doesn't mean anything, man. Look, Michael Jordan took 6 years to make it to playoffs. Think about that for a second.
Oh man, that was a good one. All right, reinforce. Who's your player to watch out for in this match?
Oh, my player to watch out for in this match is going to be Striker, of course. I think that people are sleeping on his Tracer a bit because he has had some standout performances throughout stage 1 specifically, but he was kind of hidden behind Dream Casper because Dream Casper on the Pharah and the Genji, of course, just popped off so much. But Striker, he is so consistent on this Tracer, and I think that he legitimately could be a top 5 Tracer in the league if the Boston Uprising start popping off accordingly.
All right, well it's a bold claim because it's been all about the Tracer.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I think we highlighted Soon a lot. We highlighted what having a struggling Tracer, you know, can do here and how can it affect your team. Crumbs. Yeah. Do you think that they have, you know, the Boston Uprising, they have the recipe here with Striker?
Absolutely. I mean, you kind of see it as like a top-down thing where your foundation is your Tracer, and if you have that, then you can start building more pieces. You got the Tracer, now you just start adding your layers to your hero pool and your composition.
And they had a rough schedule, of course, starting stage 2. So they played a lot of hard teams, and now finally they're playing Florida Mayhem, the Shanghai Dragons.
Hey.
They can start to rack up some wins.
They've got
I actually think, yeah, the Boston Uprising, they can probably go
pulling up
4-0.
London and Valiant next.
Yeah.
That's how
That's
committed
rough.
you were. You're like, I got the information.
I was
right
just seeing
here.
if I put anything in the back. I was like, I don't want to be showing
Yeah.
these secret notes.
I get it. I get it. Well, I'm excited for this game. Nonetheless, it's going to be a good one. You know, the question is, can the Shanghai Dragons get that first win? Will Boston allow that to happen? Or will Boston steamroll on this victory and continue to prove that they are a strong team in this league? Let's go ahead and make some noise for our last game of the day, because it's going to be the Boston Uprising Shanghai Dragons. Let's send it over to your casters, Semler and Hex.
Thank you, Golden Dad. We are going. I'm just gonna keep doing that. we're gonna get into the last match of the day here, Hex, as we get things back on track. Question is whether or not Shanghai will be able to breathe some fire and derail the Boston hype train.
It might be the last best chance for a win for Shanghai in a little bit here. I think their next 4 opponents in no specific order are London, New York, Seoul, and Houston. So a murderer's row of the Overwatch League. So Boston might be their last best bet. Boston, before they beat Florida, were struggling a lot in stage 2. And then they 4-0'd Florida, maybe trying to get themselves back on track. We're going to kick it off here on Volskaya. And what's interesting to me is Boston's win rates in this map pool right now. They're 100% on Volskaya. They're 100% on Route 66. I believe our other maps are Nepal and Kings Row, and they're 0% on there. And Kings Row could definitely be a map I see going in Shanghai's favor, given what they did to Seoul yesterday. I think Shanghai's best chance is to run more triple tank. I think that Zushu is actually a pretty decent addition. He's a very good diva, and then that takes the diva away from MG, who's had his struggles on it, and MG can play the Roadhog. That's where they're good at catching the dive. I give Shanghai a puncher's chance here. I think everyone's kind of rooting for it.
I think so. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And we got some fans in the crowd here for Shanghai for sure, but you really want to see Shanghai step up and start getting some of those results that they've been working so hard for, because without a doubt, they are one of the hardest working teams in this league. You want to see that pay off.
You know, you and I both kind of got the vibe just watching the walkout. Like, these guys look a little bit chipper, looser than a handful of sand out there. You know, I was kind of looking for, like, what do you have to lose at this point? You're missing your best player by a mile. I think Dia is their best player. He picks up the slack where others maybe can't go. Undead is still going to offer you that amazing hit scan threat. It's just a matter of what is Zushu going to end up playing, and it looks like right now on defense, they want to run triple tank, and I think this is the right call.
Play to their strengths, play to what's worked, and really when you find the solution, you just got to stick to it and keep hammering away. So it looks like Shanghai Dragons, at least they finally settled on something. Boston Uprising so far kind of getting set up for that dive. Striker definitely not going to be playing Lucio.
It also does a couple nice things to their support lines, and the supports have struggled a little bit, even in the Mercy meta, but it allows Altering, who, you know, has a tendency to get picked off, especially when he was on Mercy, to play a Moira. And if you're getting picked off as Moira, then you're not using your cooldown correctly, so maybe the supports can stay alive a little bit longer. And then I think Undead still has untapped carry potential for the Shanghai team as we kick it off. Going to see Casper versus Undead in the Widow duel.
Already, Undead already hitting shots as well. And on the defense, there we go. A great hook to start things off. That's solid. Nope. Will survive, obviously. He's got his healers there to back him up, and they haven't been able to do too much. But Dream Casper, however, Kalios and Dream Casper teaming up to get the D-Mech on Zushu very early on here. Zushu kind of out in the open, making it difficult for his healers to keep him up.
And now there's really no one to contest the Widow as long as he stays out of that sideline right there, dodges a shot, and they're going to bully out the opposing Widow on the other side of things. No more kills just yet. This is going on long enough that perhaps Zushu can get back into this fight.
Yeah, I mean, with D.Va, you are pretty quick, but you lose Roshan in the mix. Really needed to keep Roshan alive, keep those bodies going. But Zushu is back. Now it's a question of just delaying a little bit further here. They have not capped this point yet, Boston Uprising. There's still a chance for Shanghai Dragons to turn it around. But MG and 5 King getting picked off by Dream Casper, and that'll be the nail in the coffin.
Just walked right into that right there, lost all their tanks during that fight. The one saving grace is that they have Coalescence, but look at Boston. 6 check marks online. They're going to pop the first one right there, Infrasight, giving them all the information on the positioning of the Shanghai defense.
And there's Striker, just styling already. Big stick there to kick things off. Zushu goes charging into the backline, hoping to get lucky. He only gets a bunch of bullets to the face. Undead will hit the shot on Dream Casper. That could be a bit of a turning point. Kellex will be able to get the res off, though he hadn't used it yet, and so we're back up to full strength, and now Striker's just going to get the run game on these guys.
They had a couple of kills. There was a window they could bring it back, but now Striker, as you mentioned, running that game on them, going all in, and they're getting kill after kill is the Boston offense. It's a good map for them. And that's all coming to bear right now.
It's becoming pretty clear as Nako will get the D-Mac and Dream Casper will collect the kill on Zushu. Roshan goes leaping into the fight. Shield is going to get melted pretty quickly, or well, he'll just get blown up again. Easy targets here for Striker to get this pulse bomb going on. And while Altering, he has fade, and he will fade into another side. And, well, not even going to be able to touch the point.
Not the best look there for Shanghai. They get completely rolled over here on Volskaya. And really that first fight set them up extremely poorly. That's what can happen on one of these assault maps. When you get rocked the way they got rocked on first point, then you're facing ultimates all on the other side. Even though they had Coalescence, it came out in the corner in a weird angle. Coalescence great at long hallways, allowing your tanks to engage, and it seemed like just a little bit off. The tanks were engaging. Coalescence needs to be there in the back of the tank to keep him alive, to add the extra damage to the target in front of him. Just not quite on the same page so far for Shanghai.
So now we get to see them on the offense. Not really seeing any changes in heroes here for Shanghai, so it seems like they've got a game plan and they're going to try and stick to it. Definitely need to just, Altering not looking too pleased right now. They need to just take a deep breath here and try and reset. That first half didn't happen. Now you go and do the same to Boston.
It just seemed a little bit out of sorts. When you lose one player like that, when you lose your D.Va like that so early, and then you have no coverage, no protection for your other tank, you lose another tank, and then Undead, maybe feeling the pressure of having to hit the shots, having to carry, is a little bit off there, found himself out in no man's land at least twice, unable to get good angles, unable to really even pressure Dream Casper there, and never really able to get the resurrections that they needed to come through either. So Shanghai on the offense looks like they're going to mix things up at least a little bit.
Okay.
Undead wants to get off of that Widowmaker. Not the best showing against Dream Casper. We'll see if it's the right idea to go to the Tracer. Generally, Undead is not always their Tracer. He'll play it when Dia needs to run Projectile or something like that. Dia often will pick up the Tracer where Undead wants to play a McCree or a Widowmaker. Undead's capable on it. I don't think it's his best hero.
No, I mean, if the tanks can stay together as that trio and work together to stay alive and make sure that their healers, more importantly, can keep them in this fight, Undead may have the room necessary for him to shine. Already, Lucio in play, and so they will get boosted up fairly quickly here towards the entrance to the arch. MG taking a peek, trying to suss out the defense here, and well, Dream Casper, man, bold, just out in the open, taking shots, gets caught in the stairwell, and this is where it could get ugly. Kelix and Nako both gone, run over by the tanks.
I love the target selection there. They noticed the tanks were on the left side, and they said, good, that means everyone else is on this right side. Walk right in, hits the necessary shots, flat cannon, dispatches Mercy with ease, and now as Shanghai will take this first point almost even faster than Boston.
Yeah, that was clean. Striker is still alive, so he can still be a nuisance here. Oh, you think that's gonna be the kill. Undead is gonna be there to collect it. And they will be able to pick up this first point very quickly here. Nice and neat, very clean work from Shanghai Dragons. So that's gonna set us up here for the B take. The question is whether or not they're gonna be able to get in there as quickly as Boston did, just because they don't quite have that ult advantage that Boston carried on their offensive side.
That is going to be the small difference, and the big ults that you want to keep an eye on is going to be Kalios' Primal Rage. Can buy you so much time on this point to let some of those other ultimates get back online, but I think Shanghai should just go for it right now. Looks like they're diving in.
Yeah, not holding back. Already, Lighthouse glaring away here for altering. Sushu on the high ground, trying to scope things out, seeing where he can be useful. If he can get to work here, he could get that self-destruct to get him back into this fight fairly quickly, but it's looking like Dream Casper will remove Roshan, and that's the signal here for Shanghai Dragons to back off. Did you say that was an eco push?
I don't think so. I think that altering is just not all that comfortable on Moira right now. That's twice now that Coalescence has been used primarily for damage while his tanks are sitting below half health, one on both sides. And then they lost Roshan there towards the end of that fight. He didn't necessarily get the healing that he needed out of Coalescence. It might be just be a new hero. They're gonna pop Valk and be aggressive on this.
Yeah, Kelix not wasting at all in terms of time. Preemptive Valk goes out, wings are flowing. Flying, there's the self-destruct, but Zushu still gets his head taken off there by a dashing Dream Casper. Now the sword is out, and while Dream Casper, he doesn't even need to pick up kills. The rest of his team are just going to work. Even Nako is going to chime in with a kill on Undead.
And they're going to chase this as far back as possible. They see that the Moira has come there, but he'll just hit a couple shurikens and regain charge. Undead switching off of the Tracer onto the Reaper. Seen a lot more Reaper on Volskaya. Of course, he's a staple of last point assault maps with offense and defense where that close quarters fighting is happening. And I think they know that if they can start dealing with some of the tanks, then the Boston dive is much less effective. They get such good peel for their DPS out of their tanks. If you take them out, you might be in a better spot.
Well, Coalescence out again. Self-destruct is going to force Undead back around the corner. That sets it up here perhaps for Striker. Oh, unfortunately, he misses his chance and now goes for the stick on Undead. What a stick! The drive-by straight up, Undead blown to bits, and Dream Casper getting overwhelmed. 2 quick kills to bring it back Shanghai's way, and now it's a question of whether they can keep the stagger up.
Oh, there's a nice Primal Rage, and it's going to be joined by a Transcendence, so no progress will be made on this point for at least the duration of these ultimates. Galio's knocking people around. That's it. This push is over. They will evict them off the point. Some progress made. And this is what I'm talking about with Coalescence. You saw Altering pick up a kill there, but it was on the other D.Va behind his own D.Va. They got them in the corner. That D.Va's getting healed up, taking out the other D.Va. The damage is coming through. Coalescence is not an ult that can do much on its own. You can zone out a Genji, get some damage, but it's not this super high damage output. And at the professional level, where the targeted Coalescence is going to be healed up by their own supports, you need to combine it with your tanks.
You need to combine that healing. That's the whole point. Damage and healing all in one. Dream Casper yet again, straight into the back line. This time around, he gets that dash reset, looking for a kill, but he will be forced back. Has to play it safe, play the angles here. Tough to chop down the tanks. They've got so much HP. And so Shanghai Dragon's doing a great job now of trying to get this death ball rolling, sticking close together, working together as a unit. And there we go. Undead finds the kill on Dream Casper. That could be the opening.
They do get a couple kills. There is a third kill added into the mix, and now it is all just about the stall for the Boston Uprising. Still only 1 permanent tick on the point. The Soundware is coming in. Shanghai wants to close this out right now, Soundware.
They have to make it work. Undead point blank, removes Note. Striker doing the best he can. Will buy a little bit more time here. Dream Casper has swapped over to the Reaper of his own. He gets caught in the corner, though, pinned against the wall. But with that life leech that he does, there we go, Undead. Kelix gone, Dream Casper as well.
Really smart play there for Undead. He focused the bubble first off. He knew that if he could just stay alive and get that Winston bubble down, that he would be able to get that Death Blossom in there. Note will fall on the point. It is all Shanghai right now, getting every kill that they need to try to secure the second tick notched.
Second tick is good. They're halfway to closing this out now. 1 tick remains. Altering finds Striker. The kills continue to rain in here for Shanghai Dragons. And yes, they will succeed in tying it up. 2-2. Took them a little longer on the B point, fair enough, but they got the job done in the end.
Able to pull it through, looking kind of happy with that performance. You just kind of, I think you were absolutely right. You forget that that first half happened. I mean, it was so bad that what are you even going to learn from it? Everybody made mistakes equally there. No one played well and said, guys, you know, I need help here. They all played poorly. So you forget about it, you move on, and it looks like they came in fresh for that. Altering to much better coalescences there than on the first go about, maybe getting the feel for Moira. Not everyone has practiced it a lot. Altering was a player in the OWPS and the Chinese Overwatch scene who played a lot of Ana. Haven't seen that a whole lot either. Ana and Lucio generally. So still adjusting for these supports. Shanghai, they're a team that you cannot overlook. Every team that plays them has to take them seriously because they're taking maps off of very good teams. And Shanghai, their record is not indicative of their talent level. Even without Dia, looking like a good performance so far.
I do feel for Shanghai that it's all a mental game now.
Yeah.
There are the mechanics on the team. They can't, well, the mechanics, I mean, they are trying to fix the machine, fair enough, but they have the mechanics, they have the skill. It's all about just making sure that they keep their cool in the high pressure situations that will allow you to win those maps and win a series, more importantly, when the pressure's at its highest. So Shanghai now, curious to see if it's going to be the rinse and repeat, and it's looking like it.
No team under more pressure than the Shanghai Dragons. The weight of a nation upon them. A lot of stuff surrounding the organization that they're going through, but it should not matter to these players. Stuff like that can actually bring a team closer together. That all the world is out there, it's just us six. We only have us to rely on, and maybe that's coming through today. I think the triple tank is going to work well for them as they continue to run it.
Oh, there we go. Dreamcast for strong start for him. Changed up the position so he doesn't get caught in that room anymore, and well, that just allows him to just take pot shots all day long here. Shanghai don't really have an answer apart from Zushu, and Zushu's gone.
It's time to reset, time to walk off that edge into the icy waters of Volskaya. They will reset right there. It's losing your Tracer that early is tough, especially when you have a giant wall of meat to hide behind. To be caught out in the open, you can't expect players in the Overwatch League to be missing snipes. At lower levels, you can maybe dance and peek a little bit more. Not going to be the case, and especially not now with Infrasight up.
Yeah, Infrasight is up. Undead has changed it up to the Widow, though, so it's looking like he's trying to find a solution here, an answer to Dreamcasper. Infrasight, though, that's going to give it away. Dreamcasper now knows that he's dueling with the Widow, and so he's going to close that angle off. Nice quick headshot there. That's what we expect to see.
They just waited it out right now. And oh, Dreamcasper, pixel perfect, takes down Undead.
Yeah, Undead. Just hunting, but that's the thing. That's the beauty of Infrasight. You see through walls, you see where your opponent's coming from, and Dreamcasper definitely not caught off guard by the switch. Will continue to hit shot after shot, and more Infrasight here, so he's even going to know when Undead gets back into this. Easy shot for him on Altering. That's healing gone here for Shanghai Dragons.
I like that they still went in, though, losing Undead, because the trades are going to favor the offense in this situation, and now they're getting more kills. With Casper out of the mix, Undead can feast. They're going to buy even a little bit more time with this self-destruct as well.
Yeah, Striker's still around here, though, to try and draw things out. There it is, the kill on Undead. A lot of DPS lost. He even has the pulse bomb, could go for the stick if he wants to. Right into the thick of things. Yep, sure enough, Blink, switch it up, but he doesn't connect.
Did they give Tracer Sombra's cloak? Why is no one even shooting at Striker? He's dancing around everywhere, still in the mix. He hasn't even taken damage in like the last 30 seconds.
Oh no, now Altering. Pid, Fade is gonna be there, but Recall as well for Striker to keep him alive. And while not quite that one-hit punch to get the kill swiftly, still, he's just whittling him down. He's nearly got another pulse bomb already, and this fight isn't even over. Could get Altering, and yes, with the help of Kalios, they collapse on him, Altering out of it. Another pulse ready for Striker. Could just go ahead and pull the trigger immediately right here. Yep, there it is.
I cannot believe this Tracer play I am seeing, and as good as Striker is, this one is on the Shanghai Dragons. You have to focus at a certain point and pull it down. And this has me worried because this is something I saw in the Chinese Overwatch scene, that they cannot finish a fight that they should win. That went on way too long. They had only 3 people alive, maybe 4 on the point, unable to secure those final kills. Were Shanghai. Now they have to rush it. They have Coalescence, should be not even able to touch. And now Boston has set themselves up to take Volskaya.
Nearly 6 minutes in the time bank for Boston to work with going into this when they change sides. That is a long time to hold first point on Volskaya.
It's just worrying the lack of target focus and finishing ability there. I don't care what Tracer that is on the planet. You cannot let a Tracer do what Striker just did to them. Everywhere, not even pressured. He was in the middle of 3 tanks a couple times. And yeah, he has recall. Yeah, he has blinks, but not forever and not permanently. And someone's got to hit a shot there. And if that's not the case, Undead needs to go to his best hero, which in my opinion is by far his McCree.
There we go. That could be the option. That is definitely one of the go-to solutions for dealing with the Tracer, that flashbang. Shot to the face, Tracer's gone, and then you progress on.
If they think that Striker is the biggest problem, which you just put on some game tape that would let you believe that, then you run your Roadhog, which should be able to deal with the Tracer at least a little bit, or get blinks out, get recalls out as you're dodging hooks, and then run a McCree. A Soldier's not bad here because burst damage will get a Tracer dead before she can blink or recall, so maybe hit a Helix Rocket. It also lets you challenge at least a little bit some of the other DPS that might come out. Casper yet to pick his hero.
Oh, Casper going for the McCree. Will he stick with it? I like it. I always get excited when we see McCree play. I'm really happy that we still have Widow and McCree as part of the meta. Moving on. But it is going to be Casper sticking on the McCree here with the attack, and so there's going to be a lot of damage possible. Nice hook from MG to start things off. They're going for a similar setup here, Shanghai Dragons. This time around, however, they do not lose Zushu early, and so the defense can continue to hold.
I mean, the hooks have been there. They've not been able to really follow up. It's difficult to follow up on some of these hooks with all the healing that is going to go on. Now they found themselves in an odd position. This is not where you want to fight backs against the wall. They're in a little cubby hole here. Striker continues to dominate this matchup. Roshan down, but now they've resurrected him and gotten a kill of their own.
Yeah, this could be it. The turning point. Striker, though, great nade from him. Not going to get the follow-up. The pulse. So close on a sliver of HP. But they will survive, and they will keep this going just a little bit longer. Now it's Undead, still hunting for kills, but he decides to play it safe. He's got his attack visor, get on the high ground, and then just rain in death and destruction from above.
They're in a little bit of trouble right now. They only have 4 on defense. They just got MG back who respawned. They lost Zushu late in that fight, so they're going to play this further back. Roshan has to live. He can be down there for now, but at a certain point, he has to bail. The worst thing that could happen is they die because they're about to have full 6 again.
So Kalios taking points, soaking up the damage. That's all right by him. Now it's all going to be a matter of, can they get the DMEC, can they get the shield out, and will Undead have the space necessary to actually get this attack visor going? He barely survives getting batted off there. That was cutting it a bit close. And he will, no, he doesn't even find the kill on Striker. Striker kills Altering though, that would have been big.
Almost got it just around the corner just in time, and now Boston is burning ultimates, and why not? They only have to take a certain percent here. 55% will get them the victory on Volskaya. And now Shanghai is going to need a miracle. They're running out of bodies to touch the point.
And another stick from Striker. He just keeps delivering. And well, it is going to be progress made here for Boston Uprising in the first map. Picked up for them as well. 1-0 lead now.
You know, some people think that Tracer's not very good against triple tank. I happen to be the exact opposite. I think when you're getting pulse bomb up every 30 seconds or so because you're simply farming those tanks, you're in a good spot. All you really have to worry about is dodging hooks. You're probably not going to be able to solo the Mortar, but Mercy's back there to kill, and Striker just absolutely running over the Shanghai Dragons.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network. Omened by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. And by Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League.
one, and live. Welcome to the party.
Oh my goodness! No! So many stars on this lineup.
And this is where we see the high-quality Overwatch, everybody. Enough of the fun and games. It's time to get the job done.
Welcome back from the break, everybody. We're getting into the second map now, Hex. Shanghai Dragons not quite able to pull it off on Volskaya. So what do we make of their odds on Nepal?
I think their odds on Nepal could be better, but I'm gonna beat this dead horse. I've been kicking it for a while. Put Undead on McCree, please. And one of the reasons I think so is when you're hitting those hooks. It's a pick composition. A hook should lead to more than what they got a couple times, especially entry kills like that. Those will stop pushes. So maybe you get a hook, plink a headshot. You know, maybe you hook a diva, you flashbang her feet, fan the hammer, something. But those hooks have to translate into kills, and right now that's not happening. I also think the Nepal in general is a good McCree map. You can run him conceivably on at least 2 of the 3 stages here.
Sure.
He can be good on Sanctum, whereas there's the artificial space created by the lack of a floor there. Very helpful for him, but I would like to see that. I thought his 76 was actually a little bit better too. So far, he's just not feeling it on the Widow, and the Tracer was not all that grand from Undead. And really, you have to look at this team. They're really only running one pure DPS. Zushu is a good Pharah player, has played it in the past. We'll see if that's what they want to run, because you can also run Pharah conceivably on 2 or 3 of these stages.
You can, exactly. There is that option to go to take the fight to the skies. Something that we do see a bit on Nepal. Glad that we're getting to really dig our teeth into the new meta with this new stage, new set of maps. All of a sudden, it's really changing things up and showing the diversity in these teams and what they're capable of. But the murder chasm is a good way of putting it in terms of, I am looking forward to getting into the murder chasm here, because that is exactly where we're going to kick things off.
Just put murder in front of everything and make it sound cool.
I definitely can.
It totally works. Yeah, you would fit in right in with Death Clock right there.
Yes! So metal. Oh man, Death Clock, that's a classic, man. Good throwback.
We've got Undead on the 76. They are going to run a Pharah. 5 King was on the Lucio, but good thing he switched. That's just for the speed boost. They should be able to get to point a little bit quicker here. Just a tiny bit quicker, but both teams running very similar compositions.
And both of them going for the hold combo, although that one was a bit more direct there by Shanghai, by, who is it? On Roshan, that is.
Yeah, watch this. He's going to go bottom corner and try to move up. Yeah, looking just gone fishing right now. MG's very low. MG falls.
MG falls. Kalio survives. Gets the barrier up just in time. So much ult charge there for his healers. Kelix is loving life right now. He's like, yes, feed me. The wings, they're just itching.
They just win that initial stair fight. A little better fire, a little better rockets connected. Going over the top, getting some actual damage done. And now, with this kind of composition, they're going to be in a good position to hold wherever they like. You're going to be able to scout out where the team is. Those giant windows right there. They know it's right side, and there's the pre-fires.
You know, sees them coming from a mile away. Yes, group up behind the barrier. I can shoot over it with rockets. Lots of damage. Nako finds the pick on Altering, removes him from the map. Opportunity perhaps to get the res off, and yes, bold play there by 5 King. Just straight resing, getting him back into the fight. Altering, well, never mind. Doesn't work.
76 at this range with no Discord orb available for them, or at least not on Dreamcasper, is nothing but a tickle. It does absolutely nothing for them. He's going to stay on the 76, I believe, because Tactical Visor is about to come on. In an ideal world, Shanghai would love to force out the Valkyrie and then Tactical Visor into that, but I'm not sure how they're going to force the Valkyrie without using Tactical Visor. Check your corners, people. Sometimes there's a Pharah there.
Hi, friends. Need to play some of that corner peeky game, you know, get those good habits going. You definitely don't want to make mistakes like that. Always look right and left, guys. Otherwise, you might, you know, cross the street and hit a rocket.
Exactly. They need to start training Overwatch players with a good game of Frogger. Left and right, cross the street, check your corners, know where all the attack angles are. Usually it's a Reaper sitting there in the corner, but Barrage works just as well as Death Blossom in that situation.
Yeah, there we go. Well, we're at 80% now for Boston Uprising. It's looking pretty good for them. We do have ults banked up here for Shanghai Dragons. It's just a matter of them surviving long enough to get to use them. Undead will be brought back to life, though, by 5king. So that's solid. That means the Tac Visor can get out, and he doesn't waste any time at all. Just goes straight for the Tac Visor, hoping to find a target. Bongos are down for Kalios, but not for long. Roshan, good focus there from him. But Note, in the meantime, has removed Undead, and Note now just gets to pin him in the corner. D-Mech as well.
That Bongo is nearly the only thing that they've killed the entire stage for Shanghai. Not exactly what you want to put on your resume there. Shanghai going in desperation style, but that is all it is going to be. They are getting cleaned up easily, and Boston puts on a clinic here in Sanctum.
Boston definitely looking very confident here in this match. But Shanghai haven't really given them a reason to fear them yet. That's the issue.
In Sanctum, when the Pharah is that far away, with a Mercy in their pocket, unless she's discorded and just doesn't move, a 76 is very likely not going to kill that. It's just too much healing throughput. The distance is too far to be able to consistently hit burst headshots. Maybe a McCree. I mean, I
see what you're doing here.
You
Hex.
know what I
what you're
mean,
doing here,
but like,
Hex.
obviously that's not going to work. Tactical Visor came out, but doesn't matter. There's pillars to hide behind. They got almost 0 kills there that entire stage. Yeah, in fact, there were 0 kills.
They got 0 kills.
Yeah, 0 kills on Sanctum. The Bongo died.
The Bongo died. An inanimate object died.
It died for their sins, apparently.
Well, long range here, Dreamcast are taking full advantage of there being a near total lack of counter for him. And that's actually a feel-good moment if you are Pharah right now. They've got nothing that can shoot you.
Yeah, it's going to be up to, I guess, Zushu to put some pressure on here, but already the vertical advantage right now, and I think Zushu should ignore this Pharah up here. They should be trying to focus on the ground fight, considering that Pharah v Pharah is extremely volatile. It's unlikely you're going to hit shots based on skill. Some of it's luck, especially at that distance.
Well, this is the big thing here. All Dreamcast has to do is just get that AoE damage in. And then you've got Striker, you've got Note. They're going to spot a target at half HP. Great, they're going to eat him alive. And well, the reign of terror continues here for the Boston Uprising.
I think Shanghai could have expected that there was going to be a Pharah on this map, and they could have run out with 3 tanks. And in 3 tanks on this stage, you can just get onto the point and then lock the door. Maybe even get a Reinhardt or an Orisa to put a shield on one side. Then you really only have to worry about the other side. And then Pharah has to come down and try to fight you, and that's exactly what you want. At least she's in range to take damage then. So far, Dreamcast were just living in the sky, living the dream.
Flying high. And now, well, that is going to be, oh, there it is. Roshan picked off at range. Note will be the one to collect that kill. And Striker kind of just dancing on the side here. Just doing Striker things. Another stick for him. Not going to get the D-Mech. Just cutting it a little bit too close.
On that very first map, Striker was getting Pulse Bomb every 48 seconds. Now at a mere mortal 59 seconds per Pulse Bomb for him. They're going to have Barrage ready. Kelix does get taken down by Zushu's Barrage. I think it's the 2nd or 3rd kill that Shanghai have gotten so far. Dreamcasper will D-Mech, and he could even hold on to the Barrage if he wants to, and I think he will.
Yeah, he will. Was thinking that's pretty much what he's waiting for there. Get rid of, oh wow, Kalios. No mercy. Not a shred.
Wanted.
Not a shred of mercy. But I was thinking he just wants to get the D-Mech on Zushu, and then, or on MG rather, and then just be like, right, okay, D-Mech is gone, nothing to counter my Barrage, but then everybody was already dead.
Well, Shanghai does have one last shot at this, and they're going to have Sound Barrier to at least enter into this. Undead has been rather quiet so far, perhaps trying to work out the dynamic with his new DPS partner. Looking to hit a Pulse Bomb. Striker is showing him the way. He's going to hit his own Pulse Bomb. Altering already out of this fight. No Valkyrie will come through.
Now Roshan forced to use Primal just to stay alive there in that situation. Now Dreamcasper getting challenged by Zushu a little bit until Zushu, does he not? He does survive. Unbelievable. Hardly any HP left on him, and he is still in this, but it's looking like for now it's 99% for Boston Uprising, and it's the wall of white in the kill feed. 2-0. Very quick victory here for Boston Uprising on the control map, Nepal.
Absolute dominance from Boston on Nepal. Only 3 kills the entire time from Shanghai. Look a little bit beaten down, a little uncoordinated at times as well. And need to adjust strategies. Facing these teams straight up in mirror compositions is not working. It is time to go for your curveballs.
I mean, we'll find out what we've got in store for us here. It is time to really just break it out. And when you think that they've just started to look fairly comfortable there with the tank approach. As soon as they change it up, it gets real dicey. Dreamcasper giving the thumbs up there at the end pretty much says it all here. As far as Boston are concerned, they're looking very good to win this series. It's all on Shanghai now to turn it around.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League. T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Dreamcasper is leading the way on Pharah, and it's 2-0 for the Boston Uprising at the break. Welcome, everyone, to halftime. Golden Boy alongside with Reinforce and Crumbs here as we look to break this one down. And, you know, if I'm being very honest here, it's a tough one because Shanghai they're struggling to find a footing, and I almost feel like I have to take back what I said earlier. You know, I don't like to sell anyone short ever, but you know, this time though.
It's looking rough for them because
it's rough. It's rough.
Dia is not here. He had to deal with some emergencies back in China, so they're lacking a DPS player, and they have to resort to triple tank compositions. And Shishu playing the Pharah, of course, which he doesn't normally do. He's an off-tank player, so
not optimal.
Not optimal. That's
not
put it.
Yes.
That is a good term to use there. Well, let's just jump into it. And Volskaya here. There was actually a really interesting thing that had happened. There was something a note had said to the rest of the boys, and we actually did get an opportunity to capture that audio. So let's go ahead and hear that about match strategy from Note.
One thing last map. I think we kind of realized it at the halfway point, but we really need to try to be applying more pressure to the Moira, targeting her more, less on like the Roadhog more, because she's just doing so much healing, right? And I think you guys kind of realized that on your own, and we were focusing her a little bit more in the second half, but just keep that in mind going forward.
Okay.
Recognizing the issue, because they're running Widow Tracer into triple tank, so you got to take out the supports first, otherwise you're just shooting meat all day long.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Hexagrams did say that, and I love that phrase, by the way. Just
yeah, lots of things came into my mind.
The wall of meat, as we dubbed it yesterday, and Monty did too. So, yeah, like Hexagrams is saying that he feels like the Tracer works into the triple tank because you're just continuing to put damage down, continuing to farm ult charge.
You got so many pulse bombs.
Yeah, right? So, like, it technically, yes, I mean, you're gaining a lot if you're just shooting the wall of meat.
Well, here's why it works, right? You against this triple tank composition specifically, right? Winston is not going to reach your Tracer. Tracer's just going to bounce around you 24/7. She's just going to use her blinks when you jump in. Roadhog, his hook is really the only answer, but she's going to save a blink for that, so you can always respond to that. Right-click from Roadhog is really the only answer, but trying to hit that against a top-tier Tracer is a nightmare. And then D.Va, you know, you can just forget about it. Like,
yeah,
might be able to suck up one of the post bombs, but other than that,
it's not optimal. But still, if you just apply some kind of pressure onto Striker, I think it's a lot more manageable.
Of course.
And I think he has gotten away with it. Of course, Shanghai Dragons has had a bit of a rough time so far. But if Undead on the Soldier or McCree just manages to put some shots on the Striker, I think they gain a lot more time and space to actually make some damage onto the rest of the bot.
It's true, but you know, I don't want to put I don't even want to put even more pressure at this point. You know, they're struggling. It was 16-0 on the first half of Control, and then 16-3 on the second one. That's like complete eliminations for both teams. So it's looking rough out there. Just take it as practice,
and I think
really.
it comes down to actually they had to deal with a lot of spam, a lot of Pharahs and a lot of Junkrats, of course, on Nepal. So I think it comes down to Shanghai Dragons not being able to deal with the positioning game and the poke game necessarily. So I want to see them play more triple tank and put Undead onto McCree because it's more explosive, right? And you can get up into the face of your enemy and dictate the fights a bit more, because as it stands, they haven't really proven that they can play the long haul, you know, play the positioning and a Soldier, which does so much damage over time. You know, you got to play a bit more explosive and, you know, take the fight to your enemy, rather.
You know what's good for the long haul, too? Recycling. Recycling Reapers, weapons, the sign right there, hashtag save the planet. He does throw so many of those out there. It's like when you check the mail and you open, there's so many flyers for crap you don't want.
Yeah. I actually buy
I do not want more baby food discounts.
I buy all of it.
I mean, he rarely sees play, so I don't think it's a disaster necessarily.
Hey,
occasionally you have Reaper guns all over.
Well, you know what? I like the idea of utilizing social media, you know, to get a message out there. This is because it's a segue, because that's going to do it for us here at halftime. But the Boston Uprising got off to a rough start in Stage 2 after dropping their first 12 maps in a row. But they did get their first win last week versus the Mayhem, and our crew was there to get an inside look. And this is the segue, because this is another segment of social studies. Hey,
I love this Boston squad. If you watch them in Stage 1, they had a terrible start. It was 2-3 before they started putting win after win together. They fell just short of the Stage 1 playoffs, and now here in Stage 2, they're off to an 0-8 map count. They need to turn it around. You got to learn from your mistakes that you made just one stage ago. Interesting engagement there with the Winston.
You're desperate here. Goes for the blink, but he gets splattered by Mono, and overtime is taken down. New York Excel will take the second map in this series, 2 points to 1.
Kept playing a lot of chaotic. I really started.
It's going to be all New York tonight, a 4-0 as Boston is handed another loss. As if you're a Boston fan, you have to be so confused. Your team was looking so strong at the end of stage 1. We thought they were going to make it into the playoffs. Today, things did not get easier.
No. Easy club. Okay, we're gonna do Boston up. All right, everybody, come on. 3, 2, 1. Boston up!
On stage, give it up first for the Boston Uprising. Boston really shocked a lot of people towards the end of stage 1. They were on a massive winning streak, but so far here in stage 2, it's been a nosedive. They've lost 3 straight matches, and they haven't won a single map yet. All right, let's get the official predictions here.
I am going to be going with Florida today.
I'm going with Florida.
Oh, I have to go with the Mayhem.
Boston, I'm cheering you on. Let's see if they can get the win. Everyone is stacked against you.
Bodies of Boston on the point though somewhere.
Yeah, that's going to be the main thing here. I'm glad that we got the pre-cam view just to get it real clear. The fact that Boston are not out of this yet. Nobody even finding kills on...
And journal, guys, just high energy. All right, more of the same. Bring energy, you guys will be doing great, all right? Kick some butt. Right, Dan. Kick some butt. Holy shit. So good job, everyone. Let's clap it up. Very happy. I'm glad we all know what winning feels like again. There's a good feeling, right, for everyone. As I said before, we fail and succeed as a team. I'm happy we performed well as a team today, but I think we still have a very long stage 2 for us. Realistically, if we win every match out, you know, we still have a great chance at stage playoffs, but it really doesn't matter, right? We just want to win as many matches as we can, be the best team we can be by the end of the year so that we can play playoffs and do well.
I said Boston. Okay. Boston. Okay.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places.
You need to make your statement right here, right now, and there it is.
He's getting pretty hyped up.
Oh, and tossed right off the map.
Oh, sick play from Dream Casper.
The Dragons will not be stopped.
This is getting out of hand. Ooh, take the fight to him. There we go. The end credits are rolling.
That was intense.
All right, welcome back from the break, everybody. We are getting into map 3 now between Shanghai Dragons and the Boston Uprising. Boston Uprising currently up a comfortable 2-0. They've been looking very good this match, X.
Very good on Nepal. Shanghai, this is their last best hope. One, to keep the series alive. If they lose King's Row, they're going to lose the series. And then, as I mentioned before, they've got a tough schedule ahead of them. But the glimmer of hope is that on King's Row, they did take this off of Seoul. In fact, full holding on first point. And because triple tank worked very well for them, the flip side of that is Boston saw that. Boston has the tape. They know exactly what the strategy is that Shanghai wants to run here. And we'll see. So far, it just hasn't been good for Shanghai. You can't sugarcoat it at all. It looked okay-ish on Volskaya. Nepal was just a bloodbath.
In Nepal, well, yeah, it was very one-sided bloodbath, right? You know, it's not that chaotic going back and forth kind of bloodbath. It was very much a slaughter, perhaps, is the way to go. A rout, you know, could be another way of describing it.
Rest in peace, Bongo. Rest in peace.
The bongo. Pick up the pieces of the bongo, because that is the one thing.
The drum circle is canceled tonight. Take your hacky sack and go home.
Where is it that's, if they do decide to go with the triple tank again, oh, yes. All right, so if they do decide to go with the triple tank again, I just got handed a
Yeah, let me commentate that. Someone just came in and gave Semler a tea.
Yes. More tea.
Tea time with Semler. Coming to a theater near you.
At this point, I might as well be a Brit. Not a tea that I drink on a daily basis. It's getting out of hand.
Tea and biscuits, which is, for some inexplicable reason, what they call cookies.
I never understood that one.
Striker clearly hates chalkboards. I get it.
We've all been in school.
Yeah, they make that noises. It's all about the dry erase now.
I guess that is. Yeah, I got to get with the times.
Yeah.
Chalkboards.
And soon will be holograms.
Just waiting for it. Fahrenheit 451, man.
Yeah.
Let's go. Just have the hollow room.
All right, well, this is Shanghai versus Boston. Map 3, Boston is up 2-0, looking to close out the series and get their second series win of Stage 2 here. Shanghai on the defense is going to run triple tank yet again. Undead will be on the 76th, the lone pure DPS on this roster. Striker and Casper will combine for a Widow Pharah opening that we've seen work so well on the first point of King's Row.
Indeed. To force him out, I mean, you have to deal with one of these threats. Either it's going to be Striker with the one-shot kills, or it's going to be a bunch of rockets flying at you. This is one way to handle it, but Roshan just goes diving into his death. No chance there for his healers to keep him alive in that sort of push.
You can't really solo dive a team when they're expecting it. And he was looking at him the whole time. You have to have your Diva with you there to make sure that you're not eating the shot on the way in. And now they're just getting a ton of progress, feasting on this point, getting knocked back even if they had aspirations of coming back in. And now way too far away. Might not even be able to get back in here. It doesn't even look like they're going to try. Maybe, yep, they'll leap in.
They will. They will just barely get in here in time. Coalescence there to lead the way. And well, Dream Casper, this is it. The Mirage! Straight up, he will get canceled out there by MG, but the damage was done. And Striker is still alive here on this point to continue reigning in death and destruction.
Damage was done, but a couple of nice kills. Shanghai coming back in turns out to be the right choice. A nice late kill onto Kelix means that they will have that advantage momentarily, but Kelix is going to be able to get back to the point quicker. He can Guardian Angel to his team. Altering also died in that exchange, and he's going to have to shift out and get in there. Means it'll be on cooldown, and now they've got Transcend to work as well.
Exactly right. They've got the Transcendence, so that's a lot of staying power contested here at the last second. And wow, Nako not wasting any time at all. He knows that Kelix will have Valk in a moment's time as well, and so we will be able to stack ults here for Boston Uprising if that's what they want to do, if they feel like the fight is getting a bit out of hand. Dream Casper, though, 2 kills for him, along with the D-Mech from Nako, and they will be able to collect it and start moving that payload forward.
Fight was over right there, and no full hold aspirations this time for the Shanghai Dragons as Boston takes that first point rather easily. Still no great answers for Dreamcasper's Far. We'll see if he sticks to it. Second point, he can still run Far. Third point, even possible as well, though it does, the ceiling starts closing in on you a little bit. Undead has Tactical Visor, so he's going to give it at least one more life, but I don't know where the pressure really comes for Striker. Maybe send both your tanks after him this time. Roshan jumping in, he gets headshot, and then he's pretty much dead before he hits the ground.
Yeah, exactly. That's the risk. And well, now you've got Infrasight as well. They know exactly where they're coming from here. Boston Uprising. Casper has got the barrage, and he knows that he can zero in on these squishy targets. Even going to be able to just completely dodge that self-destruct. Well, here we go. You see it coming. Cue the Jaws music. Raining death. Well, he'll get two, but they were two big kills. 5King out of it. Undead as well. Undead still not able to use that tac visor.
They're going to get the D.Va demeched as well, and now all going in favor of Boston. The hook comes in, but like many hooks before, unable to secure the kill. And what's the point of the hook if you're not getting kills on the other end of things? They will clean this up rather easily as no bullies them out. The card's still a ways back, though. Very possible Shanghai can come back into this one, especially with a Lucio on their side. They can come in and barrier onto this if they like. Now just trying to zone them out is Boston, with both their DPS players watching this corner.
And, well, we can't call it early, but it's going to be pretty damn close. Roshan will be able to leap in at the last second there. And so they will get that challenge, that contest, with 1.5 meters left for Boston to go. Kalios has got the Primal Rage, coursing through his veins, and he's just going in, swiping him off the point. Going to make life a little bit more difficult here for Shanghai. Kalios, though, has to give way as the whole hog gets unleashed by MG.
Tactical Visor is out looking for targets. They all back out. A beautiful disengage for the Boston Uprising. They're out of this for now, but not out of the fight. They're going to try to re-engage, but nice chase kills there. A brief glimmer of some aggression from Shanghai pays off for them. They invested a lot of ultimates into that fight, though.
They did. But they did manage to wear a lot of time off of this clock for Boston Uprising. We're down to 2 minutes 25 left here for Boston to make it happen. Dreamcasper kind of wondering if he's going to go ahead and stick to it. Looks like he is going to stick to the Pharah for now. Striker, however, has decided enough is enough. It's time for me to go back to my roots, blink all over the place, and just murder fools.
That's kind of what he does best right there. Casper's got to be careful. He was in hook range there. The concussion is going to knock the Roadhog off of the path, and he does not end up baiting out the hook. Another barrage ready. He can just drop into this Transcend and let it loose. He does.
Oh, yeah, he does. No waste of time, but gets denied immediately. Does a lot of damage, though. We'll see if they can actually try to stagger this here. Striker looking for the back line. He's going to find him. Goes for the tank first, though. Roshan is gone. Zushu on the edge of getting demeched as well, trying to hold on that point. And note, he's blocking off the healers, so there was a bit of a chance there.
There we go. Finally, a demech comes after the hook. They will get their own D.Va demeched as well. That is Striker getting some work done there. Got to be careful. Don't want to be all of that close. Got to get out of that. Zushu will fall in pilot mode, but they do trade out both divas. So now a reset for Boston. Dreamcasper finally off of the Pharah onto the McCree. Shanghai cannot let those resurrections happen, though, because where Dreamcasper died in the Pharah should be an unresable position, and he did get back in that fight. That's resources that they have to devote to killing him a second time.
Striker once again. You can see it ticking there. Could see the opening. Coalescence out once again. That is one thing that 5King is, or Altering rather, has been on top of, is just getting that Coalescence so quickly. Tactical Visor out for Undead just in the nick of time to keep him alive. And well, now they do have to kind of go into this dance a bit back and forth. The presence is still on the point here for Boston, though, so they will continue to make progress, but the whole hog gonna get thrown in here by MG.
Very nice. It's actually going to push them out of the Transcend as well, and now full retreat is on. Can Shanghai capitalize on this as the team gets back? Another hook is capitalized on as Nako goes down during this. Out is Note yet again, and it seems like Shanghai has held. Boston will have one more attempt at this. They have a self-destruct and a Deadeye to work with. Deadeye very good on last point of King's Row. Not necessarily the same situation for second point.
Exactly. Unless he can wrap around, get up on the balcony of the building, he might be a bit limited here in what he can do.
That's a long walk without a Maywall to help you up there. You got to go all the way to the other side of things. Already lost Casper.
Yeah, you saw that coming from a mile away. Roshan was ready for it, gets the perfect flank. MG just dodges the self-destruct, crouching, hidden. And while the fight continues here on the point, but there is a strong defense set up here for Shanghai Dragons. It's not looking good here for Boston Uprising. It's actually getting a little out of hand. They're trying to hang in. So long as Kellix is still up, they might be able to have the healing to pull through, but Kellix is getting focused.
That's a great visor there at the end as well. The Primal Rage comes out in desperation, knocks them about. Good cart presence though still for Shanghai. Now the kills are coming in though. Dream Casper punches Five King in the face.
Into oblivion, but they finally managed to get the kill on Kelix. Kalios and Note, the only two here. And while you do have Striker blinking back into the fight, so that it will continue, but Undead with the Helix drops Kalios. They're just funneling in here, Boston Uprising, just trying to keep their hopes alive that they can turn it, but it's not looking good. And there we go. Done and dusted. Round one complete.
Great play there for Shanghai, stopping the bleeding, putting the tourniquet on point two, getting some aggressive play out of their tanks. And I like that they were chasing down kills as well. It's not enough to get 2 kills and win the fight and let the 4 go home and lick their wounds. Get those alt charges, stagger them, and it buys you time. You do that 3 or 4 times, that's 30 seconds to a minute that you've just taken off the clock for free.
Boston can't be too pleased considering how close they got to capping that second point and continuing forward. And so Shanghai Dragons, it was definitely a little bit of a rocky start for them on that first point defense, but they managed to pull it together very nicely there at the end. And now we're seeing perhaps that King's Row could be a home map potentially where Shanghai can count on doing damage.
It fits their composition very well. And there were a lot of times where Undead was going largely untouched. Striker tried to get down on him a couple times, but what Undead has been excelling at on his Soldier 76 is bopping the Tracer with those helixes, and that's the best way to deal with her. You can drop down a healing station and sit in there and fight. Sometimes a Tracer can win that, sometimes a Soldier will win that. It really depends on your tracking and your cooldowns, but a Helix turns things your way. The best time to engage a Soldier 76 on a Tracer is when that Helix is down.
Pretty much the only time. Then it is going to be pretty tough for that Soldier to pick you off the hard way.
Well, I mean, you can still hit the headshot and then the melee. If you can stay out of melee range, that's a mistake some Tracers will make, is getting a little too close to a Soldier 76, and that's just a rifle butt to the dome.
Seems like Boston have got a bit of a catch-all approach here in terms of the defense. Striker can whittle down the shields if they go for the big beefy targets here, Shanghai Dragons. And you've still got Dream Casper for that one punch combo.
Switch late onto that Doomfist, got himself a kill into it.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's so fun to watch.
Hey, it's visceral.
Meanwhile, Shanghai going to run the same offense that they ran on their defense, triple tank. Altering seems to be very much more comfortable on the Moira. I mean, even as the maps have gone on. Finds a trap, expert hunting by MG to step in that.
Always look where you put your feet. They're figuring out that Boston, well, that Shetland pony is going to be tough to stagger, and they've decided to give it up. Kalios will drop to the point. They do not want to let the Shanghai Dragons make any real progress here. MG gets away with a sliver of health, and his Moira is there to top him back up again, and so the fight continues for Shanghai Dragons.
This might be difficult for Shanghai to crack with their current composition. Who's Undead going to damage when you got this Orisa on the point? That shield is infinite against this composition. Undead takes down Dreamcasper, which is nice. They can regroup now and know they can push in without the threat. Oh, but there is this late stagger. The tanks will fall yet again. To really mess with an Orisa, you need either a lot of damage straight up to crack the shield and use that brief window where it's on cooldown to go after her, or sometimes you need a Genji. Just go after the Orisa with a Genji, make her spin in circles. She's really bad at tracking at close range, slow movement, and right now, there's not a single Genji on the Shanghai roster.
You're forgetting the third option, Hex. Scatter arrow.
Yes.
Yes. The fear, the nightmare for every Orisa out there getting scattered, whatever. We're never going to see Hanzo. Well, sometimes we do here on the first point, but it's not happening today, it seems like. Unfortunately, as Boston have done a great job of just banking up ultimates. 5 ults locked and loaded. They've nearly got a 6-pack as well. Striker 3% away from it.
Going for the fancy grapple shot, will end up missing this. Boston has banked all the ultimates in the world. A little over 2 minutes now for Shanghai to try to crack this one. So she would switch briefly. I didn't see what he switched to. And now he's back onto the Diva. Might have just switched just to get a mech back. Yeah. Possible.
And there, oh, the shot, the attempt. Undead has been cut off, however. There may be an opening. Yes, sure, there it is, sure enough, but he's not able to capitalize on it. And there it is, the Striker with the kill on Altering. Tire going to work. You can see how difficult it is for Undead to win this fight so far away against Dreamcasper, but Dreamcasper getting dangerously low, and it looked like for a second there, perhaps Zushu was thinking about diving him.
That's a kill that really shouldn't happen onto Altering, though, especially if you've got that on cooldown, able to shift out of there. Tire is pretty easily avoidable on the Moira at times. Perhaps he just used his cooldown. They're getting down to it though. 90 seconds. Coalescence will start this fight.
20. Striker right on the edge, dancing. Manages to get out, however, and he just gets to chuck grenades down. If you want to go and play with the Junkrat, it's a bad idea to do it in hallways. Roshan not going to be hanging around there too long, and Striker is going to be able to just consolidate the defense on this point. We do have Striker actually getting a little bit overwhelmed, but the pack is here. Perhaps he can manage to pick that up, keep himself alive a little bit longer. Striker manages to get the kill before getting overwhelmed on Roshan.
They're in a little bit of trouble though. They lost Zushu early in this fight. That Diva's out of the mix. That means no one's there to eat the bullets, and Orisa can just absolutely put out a ton of damage there when no one's stopping the minigun from spinning. Under 50 seconds now. Shanghai trying to keep their hopes alive in this series. It's got to start with first point. Undead switches to the Tracer. 5 King over to the Mercy. So making some switches here last second.
Mako getting real cheeky there with that ball.
All right, a 4th tank coming in now. Undead switches to the Zarya. It is below the threshold, which you can reasonably expect a grab to come in though, so they just want the shielding, just want to go pure on Deathball.
And Roshan dies immediately. Nako there with the headshot. That's always a feel-good moment. Striker going in. Looking for a target with that tire. Just burning rubber right now. Keeping him out. Burning valuable time off the clock. 8 seconds left here on this push for Shanghai Dragons. They need to make it happen. They need to get somebody in here. Roshan's down right on the edge, but he gets halted back. That's going to mess everything up. Dies back. He gets halted. Like, that's so sick.
He was queuing up the jump too. You could see the wireframe through the wall, was looking to get that jump in. Last second halt says takeoff denied, not able to even touch. Boston has won this series 3-0 over Shanghai. Gonna play to a 4th though. Shanghai still desperately looking for answers.
Not quite finding him, although the Lighthouse did work out for altering a few times there. He was able to get some work done, but this is going to be a map 4 coming up in a second.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network. Omened by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. And by Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It is going to be time to get into the last map of this series, Shanghai Dragons. They weren't able to pull it off this time, but maybe they'll be able to save a little bit of their honor here, Hex, and get a win on Route 66.
Yeah, I just don't know if map wins are enough anymore. They're taking maps, and that's fine, but it's just about finding some consistent strategy, because it's just really bad when you're getting blown out on some of this stuff, too. It's just not a good look on Nepal when it's not close. This is a team that's been able to play a lot of good teams close. They are missing their star players, so that's an excuse, but excuses aren't going to go a whole lot further when you're still sitting at a 0 in the win column. It's always a chance when you get another map to start turning things around. You have to look at it that way. You have to look at this next map as, oh, we already lost the series. No, it's time. It's time for a fresh slate. Try something new. Get something good going.
Yeah, I mean, each journey begins with a single step, right? Isn't that how it works? You know, journey to W's, right? That's the ultimate goal here.
That's like framed over a picture in your house, isn't it?
That's how I get up in the bed, you know, in the morning, right? That first step, you know, and then who knows where you're going to wind up. Well, for us, we wind up in a studio here at Overwatch. I mean, we've already seen there that Mistakes has been subbed in for Dreamcasper, but I don't think it comes as a shock. Last time we got to talk about Boston, right? You know, Mistakes really stepped in and he stepped up on Sombra.
Yep, very likely going to play the Sombra. Route 66 is a map that Boston is undefeated on. They definitely have the Sombra strat down there, and it's just a matter of how do you counter it. You know what? Some of us play this game again.
Okay.
Is there a hero that's a good counter to a Sombra?
Stop. No, literally, stop with the flashbang, right? All right. McCree, obviously, he'll just somersault, barrel roll, cartwheel his way in for victory and maybe counter the Sombra.
We do need a new sign. If you're coming to the arena tomorrow and enjoying yourself here, let McCree cartwheel. The somersault's not doing it enough anymore. I want to see the jingle jangle of his spurs go upside down. I want to see the 6-shooter fall out of his holster during that cartwheel. Devs, get on it. I will buy that animation so fast. At least make it an emote.
How sick would that be? Yes. Why not, right? I mean, how sick would that be as well? Because you just add the motion into the flashbang, right? You can make it really epic.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
I think we're onto something.
Because you got to start somewhere, right? He didn't combat roll off of day one.
No.
No, had to start somewhere.
No, it's probably a little tumble.
McCree just
now I just picture him like in one of those very safe gymnastic gyms where like everything's padded and there's spotters, right? And there's rough and tumble McCree and they're like, no, just tuck your head in. Tuck your head in, McCree. Jesse, get it together. You're not even trying. Jesse, timeout. Jesse, no orange slices.
Yeah. I'm just picturing a McCree, except like he's like 10 years old, but he's already got the beard.
Yeah.
You know, just learning how to cartwheel.
With a candy cigar.
Damn straight. They don't even make those anymore.
No, they don't. We're a wholesome society now. Well, no surprise. Mistakes is going to be on the Sombra. A little bit surprising it's on offense. Some teams choose not to run an offensive Sombra, but I think this is definitely one of the maps you can do it on. A couple of good packs for you for offensive Sombra. To the left is a mega pack. To the right behind a pillar is a small pack for you. There's even one in one of those train cars. Not a whole lot of action usually happens around there, though.
Curious to see. Yeah, Mistake's going to beeline straight over here. Big pack hacked. And now that is really going to be nice here for Striker. Gives him a point to try and work around, or the tanks as well. As you see, Note just heading in. If they take any damage at all, just go ahead, top it up. And well, Mistake's already up at 20%, working towards that EMP.
He's got the 2-pack. If they can get them away from Big Earls, too, I imagine he'll go for that pack in there as well.
Ooh, I was looking for a little bit of this spicy hack there. That could have been fun. Getting a hack on a tank is a big deal. A hack is basically a silence. You're no longer able to use any of your abilities apart from your primary one, which is usually just, you know, mouse 1 or what is it, right trigger that's on a console.
Something like that. Nako is going to take down Altering. Mistakes takes down MG, and that's not even with the use of the EMP. They've got EMP ready, but in a 6v4 situation, do you even need it? Make that 6v3, and everyone else getting pulled out 6v2.5, 6v1.5.
And there we go.
Yeah.
You got there eventually, Hex. You got there eventually.
I mean, there were numbers involved, and the fact that I even was able to count backwards is stunning to me.
Trying to get an eye here on what's, well, we've already seen successful challenges coming in from Shanghai at the last second as well. And they try to get the body block up there to get him out. Boston, that is. But we will have the EMP. Mistakes not wasting any time at all. Just chucks it out. They're going to make life a bit more difficult here for Shanghai. Although Undead did get the tack visor off. I like that the monkey goes straight for him, trying to soak up that damage and keep those squishies survive. And it's exactly what happens.
Drops his fish tank too. And you know, the funny thing is, one of the things that's actually going well for Shanghai is those moments where they have Coalescence. You know what EMP does? Completely shuts down Coalescence. No more crossing the beams, taking the Ghostbusters advice.
You know what shuts down Coalescence? A monkey fist to the face. That works too.
Also, a little more low tech than an electromagnetic pulse, but same outcome, right?
Yeah, exactly. He's getting primal. Why do we have to reinvent the wheel? The fist works fine.
Shanghai has 4 ultimates bank up, nearly 4. And Undead is on McCree. Thank goodness.
There we go.
One of the best McCrees in all of the Chinese Overwatch scene. Perhaps the only one who was consistently better than him was Dia, actually. So stepping into those lofty shoes and to try to deal with mistakes. Mistakes does translocate out. Got another EMP ready. They don't even see him behind the cart now.
No, yeah, Valk has already been used as well, so you can play patient. Just wait for that to wear off, and then it's going to be a pretty sad day here for Shanghai if they get caught grouped up. Mistake's still going to be looking for that entry. Striker dancing on the edge. He's got his pulse, and we've seen him get creative as well in the past. And Mistakes has used the EMP now.
Yeah, did not get altering during that, though, as the Coalescence still going off. They have to back out and deal with it. Striker's lurking in the back line. It hits another pulse bomb. That one looked like it missed, but the gods are favoring Striker today.
Yeah, he's just Roshan right now. He's pretty pissed. About as mad as XQC the other day when he was just getting chain stuck, probably.
Oh, there's a nice Deadeye, though. Both supports now down for Boston. Shanghai looking to stabilize here. And McCree also pretty decent against tanks as well. Undead does take down Note in both forms. And the Shanghai defense has stabilized here on Route 66.
So that will actually, well, cause Boston. Maybe there's an aversion for them with, you know, second points, that they just aren't able to push the payload past second points today versus Shanghai. We'll see, as Altering gets caught by Kalios out a bit too far forward as well. No possibility of a res there from 5 King, so that's a little frustrating. But Fade, you can get back into the fight so quickly, and there we go, another one. EMP, this time connecting with a whole bunch of people.
He got 2 below him, 2 above, and they're just gonna hunt down these kills. That is a Diva that will be eliminated post-haste. They will continue this push. Going to be difficult for Shanghai to come back out. Even if they did have bodies up there, it's terrible to try to funnel out of that little small area. A lot of the mistakes isn't going to scout that, but this is what he wants back here, taking the big pack away.
Big pack is gone. Lots of opportunity here for Striker now. This kind of turns into his playground if he can constantly go back to that big pack. And well, you can see, just trying to keep an eye, exactly. Where are they going to be trying to set up this defense? And now Striker with a pulse bomb, he could definitely be the one to break it all open here for Boston.
Striker's just lurking. They're going to take all the free push. Shanghai wants to fight around this bend. Defender's advantage still there as the other team wants to fight uphill and blind. Another stuck pulse bomb. Stop it, Striker. Roshan's already dead.
He's already dead! Why are you doing this? Striker. This continues, and well, there's going to be Zushu getting caught. All the tanks right now just throwing themselves into this fight, hoping that their healers will keep them in it, but it's just not going to happen. Striker now going to be hot on Aldrake's heels. Aldrake going to get back to the door. No! The butt of a pistol ends him.
There was a fan out there with a specific Roshan sign. Perhaps Striker took offense to the fandom there and is just absolutely punishing the Winston for Shanghai. Roshan does have Primal Rage, give him some survivability. 1,000 HP on the card to try to stall it out and bat away this Transcendence. Trying to get him away, but some mid-air motion from Nako keeps him in this.
And Striker has got another pulse bomb. He's been averaging pulse bombs at, what, 49 seconds per pulse bomb. That is stupidly fast, especially on this map.
Part of it is the triple tanks. Roadhog is just an ultimate battery. If Tracer is not getting hooked, then he's just helping her in these fights. Right there, he'll finish off MG. 75% away. Striker finally taken down when regular arms aren't doing it. The nuclear option is the only thing going. They self-destruct, take him down. Still in here, though.
And Nako's just like, what about me? Kelix didn't hesitate a second with who he was gonna res. Get Striker back into it. Let the man continue to chop him to bits. Undead will find a stick on Kalios, though. That could actually make things a little bit hairy here for Boston, but they still got the superiority in numbers, it looks like. Now it's just a matter of getting kills. They have to keep this stagger going. If Shanghai are able to consolidate, they could potentially hold.
It's going to be difficult to get kills with the Valkyrie Mercy there, and no real threat to that Valkyrie Mercy. Self-destruct will drop on the cart. Roshan does a good job staying alive and keeping that cart from moving forward.
Nako with the snipe, though, is able to find it. He's just chucking orbs in from on high. Perfect positioning for him. Striker a double this time, and that ends it. They are just not able to keep the presence going on the point. Shanghai Dragons, they get overwhelmed, and Striker, well, he got tired of sticking Roshan every single time. Well, Roshan was dead, so he had to go for the next best skill.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes your first option isn't available. It's good to have like a safety school if you're applying for college, or a safety stick target if you're Striker. Johnny mentioned that Striker might be top 5 Tracer in the league, and I think Striker has said 5 is a little high of a number, don't you think? He is absolutely going off today in one of his best performances so far, but you know, it's actually not that surprising. He's been a consistently great part of this team. You had something to say. Did you think better of it? Yeah, you got that mischievous look on your face.
Well, I mean, it's a bit high of a number. It's a bit low of a number.
Oh, okay, so I was just incorrect. So you're just laughing at me being wrong.
No, I'm not.
I get it.
Not at all. I'm doing a Striker impression. He's taking offense. Only 5? He's top 3 at least.
Yeah, so 5 is a bit high of a number because it's higher than 3.
Jesus.
Why did you bring math into this? Stop it.
I don't know
man.
exactly. This is why we broke the rule, Hex. No math on the stream.
No math in life, man. That's why I have calculators, abacuses, fingers. You know, if it's over 10, I'm out.
Yeah, because that would involve you having to take off your shoes.
Exactly.
And then, God help us if the pants come off. Then we're really stretching it.
You know, this is why you ask me when I see you in the hallway sometimes. I'm like, hey, they fire you yet? You get fired yet? Always dancing on the edge of employment is similar over here. All right, we have another half of a map to cast, though. Boston was able to finish that out off the back of mistakes, just going wild. It'd be interesting to see how many times he died there. Oh, 0. That's a number I'm familiar with. Right there, mistake stayed alive the entire game. See, Striker got Pulse Bomb up every 42 seconds.
42 seconds.
The answer to the universe in how often Striker gets his Pulse Bomb up. 42 seconds. That's ridiculous.
That is blindingly fast. Roshan just actually confirmed that yes, a Sombra is in play. Big Pack is hacked. They're not going to be happy about that. Shanghai Dragons in general, you want to try and get in there with your tanks and just have that pack to fall back on. With that denied, they have to go straight up the gut, it looks like.
Yeah, there's nothing for you here on Dad. He's going to look for an angle there. That's a nice opening to take down Kalios. They do trade out tanks their mistakes. Now you see me, now you don't. He's gone again after taking Altering to the grave. They're gonna have to wait and respawn. Mistakes at 47% and counting up. Just difficult to deal with them. Why even shoot at her there? I mean, she's just gonna get out and go get that pack. Just gave her 13%.
There we go. Up to 62, looking good. And well, now it's a matter of just getting it around the bend here. Up to Big Earls. Kellic still on high. He will get spotted out immediately by Undead. That might prompt him exactly to put down his biotic field. So he's going to get topped right back up again. Roshan just launches himself in, trying to create space for his team. There could be the EMP here in just a moment's time. 5% left for mistakes before he can get that in play. Zushu with the D-Mech on Note, however, could make things a bit complicated. Does Mistakes decide to pull the trigger here? Roshan is gone, but it's traded for Note.
He's gonna look for the Coalescence there. Here comes a Nano Visor up top. Kellic puts Grandma's glasses on. He's looking for a little bit of damage. Does get himself a couple. They will kill the Diva there towards the end. That's Mistake's first EMP. A little over 2 minutes now for Shanghai to push in, though they've been banking ults, an unintended consequence of EMP. You can't accidentally burn ults if you can't use your ults. So now they're going to have a very decent ultimate bank, and on paper, this is a fight that Shanghai needs to win. If they've done their scouting, they know that Nako's just been hanging out alone on the top, and even though there's no pack in that tunnel, I'd like to see both tanks go through there and pressure Nako's on him.
That's a big kill, though. That's just going to delay things further. You want that tack visor, you want that killing power to go in with your push. Luckily for them, Undead, he's got sprint. He can get back into this fight relatively quickly here. But that's just more valuable time burned off the clock. A minute 45 left on the clock here for Shanghai Dragons to make the magic happen. They've got 5 ultimates to work with here. I'm just waiting for the self-destruct from Note. That's it. You know, it's just going to be this god tier self-destruct. Wipes out 5.
Possible. There is another Pulse Bomb ready for Striker. We'll see if he chooses to keep bullying Roshan here. They will Primal Rage as well, trying to cause some chaos. They just need the cleanup here for the rest of the team. EMP does come down, and they will get kills off of that.
Yeah, exactly right. Undead still not able to get that tack visor off. Mistakes long range shot onto Altering. And well, now it's just going to be the last one here. Zushu body blocked into oblivion.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're not even going to kill her. They're going to make her jump off the edge and then take the final bit of health and perhaps dignity from Zushu.
Are everything.
Yes.
Just get it straight, Hex.
Took everything.
stats are everything. Striker definitely wants that final blow.
Kalios has been watching these doors too, so it's not as easy just getting to Nako and diving him because they've always got entrance bodyguards there. I think they need to go lower and use the verticality of their tanks to hopefully get on there and at least occupy the tanks of the Boston Uprising, who've been able to do whatever they wanted here. They're going to keep going. They're just going to even boost in Kalios here, get some damage going.
Yeah, the boop there from 5King will buy a little bit of time. 5King is able to back off. In the meantime, it is going to be Zushu getting tased. Coalescence is out. Kalios decides to go primal on these guys. He's starting to do the damage a little bit here, at least just batting them around. And in the meantime, that's opening up space for Note to go to work. Roshan and MG out of it. And right now, I mean, they're doing a fantastic job of never really letting Shanghai get comfortable. They're denying them entrances. And as soon as the push does come through, the backline gets attacked immediately.
5King's got to go alone to try to get to the cart, but he is met by an angry Kelix. Everyone EMP'd, can't even jump to the cart. Roshan will get there at the last second. They've lost both supports, though.
A chance, perhaps. Can they have the staying power here? MG with the whole hog, pushing them off the point. A little bit more progress made, but they're playing this safely, Boston Uprising. They're giving ground, backing off, and Note is still waiting right around the corner.
As a zoning self-destruct to make sure they had time to get their supports back into this mix. Now they're trying to clean up the rest of this. Undead still searching for his target. We'll find him eventually. They've gotten a couple more kills. Shanghai's still pushing.
Yeah, still pushing. They managed to collapse onto Mistakes as well, who was high HP. On the high ground, Striker is now back into the mix, though, and he is just going to be doing Striker things, blinking all over the place, being a general nuisance. And it's looking like first point will get picked up here by Shanghai Dragons. Boston Uprising not able to keep it together and get the full lockout. 2 minutes and a half added to the clock here for Shanghai. There's still a chance.
Well, Boston's going to have one of the best combinations of ultimates in all of Overwatch here, and it's a good stage for it because Soldier should get high ground, but they've got Nano Boost ready and Tactical Visor, doubling that damage output on there. Don't even really have to aim it either. Just spray and pray and watch everything melt in front of you. And actually, if they're really patient, they can wait for EMP before that. Then it absolutely mops up.
Oh yeah, then there's no hope. There's nowhere to hide, nowhere to go. And guess what, Striker? Yeah, there it is again. Oh, Roshan's able to dodge it this time, though, just barely, but there it is. The Tac Visor plus the Nano Boost, getting forced back here. Shanghai Dragons caught in the corner, just giving ground.
Late EMP there. They're looking to clean up the rest of this fight. That could have been one they held, but this match seems to be already in hand for them, so try not just chase down strategies there. Stakes will get pulled back and finished, so they will have an opportunity for an uneven fight, will Shanghai.
That's his second death so far on this map.
Yeah, get it together, Mistakes.
Yeah, slacking, clearly. Kalios as well, but he has the Primal to keep him up. So more HP, catching him in the corner, and he does manage to splatter 5King, so a 1-for-1 trade. Not the end of the world as far as he's concerned.
Here comes Winston over the top. Didn't see that one coming. A sleep dart will go on in the Diva. Meanwhile, they dispatched Roshan, who had jumped in. It's been a quiet game kill-wise for the Shanghai Dragons. They need someone to exceed their effort right now and start getting a couple kills in a row. It seems to get one here and there. They're piecing together a push.
Striker, variety, changing it up a little bit. 5King gets pulsed, and there we go. Mistakes and Striker working together as the combo. Nako from on high, making sure that everybody stays up. And we do have the Nano. How far away are we from... Oh, Kelix has almost got Tac Visor again, so you can just save it for the Tac Visor combo.
They might actually just use it on the Winston here so Kalios can get his Primal Rage and they can shut it down. They're only one fight away for 4-0ing the Shanghai Dragons. Boston also has EMP going here. This might be the EMP into Nano Visor that will absolutely clean up. No shields, no abilities, nothing to do about anything except hope to run away. And you can't run away here when there's only 10 seconds left to push the cart.
Exactly. No room for error. Needs to be perfect. Mistakes is backing off. Nako gets the sleep. Definitely not the time to take a nap, MG. But there it is. The Nano Boost gets chucked out. Kalios not on him. Who got nanoed in the end? Oh, it was Nako who got nanoed.
It was Note. They gave it to Note. I think it might have been a miss. It looked like he was trying to line up his 76, but they ended up missing that one. Of note here, Kelix on this Soldier 76, and it's been such an interesting map. They're running kind of a single support with a Sombra there the entire time. We'll clean that up. Boston making it look easy versus the Shanghai Dragons. But hey, a 4-0 is a 4-0, and they'll take it.
Yeah, they definitely need to be taking it as well with the rough start that they had at the beginning of the stage. Boston, they gave up quite a few maps, and so they have some ground to cover. When it comes to the playoffs at the end of the stage, every map counts. It all makes a difference. And so every 3-1, every 4-0, it's invaluable for these teams in order to make it to the stage playoffs.
showing some resilience too. They started off stage 2, I believe, 0-12 in their map scores, so they have a long hole to climb out of. But now they 4-0'd Florida, they 4-0'd Shanghai. Those are teams they expect to beat, but you also don't want to drop maps because they are so far behind. They got to climb up in that differential. We saw at the end of stage 1, the differential means the difference between getting in or not. Boston was in that situation as well. They know more than anyone how important that is. And we are going to go to the desk to see what they have to say about Boston versus Shanghai.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Welcome back to the desk here. Boston Uprising sweep the Shanghai Dragons at 4-0. Golden Boy here alongside with Reinforcing Crumbs to break down our final match of the day here. And you know what? I mean, not to be that guy, but there isn't all that much to break down. It was Boston just straight up dominating the Dragons.
There was a lot of picante going on.
A lot of, there you go, buddy. You know, fist bump.
Nice.
A lot of, there you
Good
go.
accent on that one.
Yeah, he was a lot of picante going. I like that. That's what I want from
There was one thing to break down, though, and it was the fact that Shanghai's running triple tank the whole way through. They sub in mistakes to play Sombra, which is a good answer to dealing with triple tank. EMP's pretty damn good ability, as well as Hack with dealing with these beefy frontliners.
Yeah,
but
King's Row is looking like a good map for the Shanghai Dragons when they run this triple tank composition. It seems to be their comfort zone.
They got full held, man.
They couldn't break through point A. I didn't get to say that, Crumbs. Thank you for interrupting, of course. So if you fix a few mistakes here, they can actually make King's Row one of their placeholder maps, and then you can move on from there and maybe build out your map pool moving forward. But of course, I think at times they look pretty good.
I actually will agree with you on the point here that I think that obviously they're struggling, but obviously they have some semblance of glory here in this map, which means that as the stage progresses, any team that faces Shanghai and King's Row has to be really careful, because you don't want to be having the Shanghai play spoilers for your playoff run for stage 1.
Yeah, we saw a lot of teams actually going to map 5 in the stage 1, of course, versus the Shanghai Dragons. Philadelphia, Dallas Fuel, of course. So there is some potential that Shanghai Dragons might surprise you unless you actually prepare for them. So King's Row is one of those maps you need to prepare.
And let's not forget, too, I mean, this is a team right now that are going through some adjustments behind the scenes. Furthermore, you also have Dia, who is not here right now, so that also plays a little bit of a role here. Dia, a prominent player on this team. So that's a lot of time that's just overall being lost in chemistry that isn't being...
They have substitutions on the way. Currently coming towards the end of stage 2 or stage 3, of course. So perhaps we'll see some change-ups and Shanghai Dragons.
That'd be really fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, so we're gonna have some good changes down the road for the Dragons here. Unfortunately, not today. There was nothing really good for them to go home with today. But Boston Uprising will take that 4-0 victory, and it is actually one of these players. I don't know where I'm going with this. So, player of the match, Dream Casper, sponsored by Omen by HP. I had a segue and I completely bombed it, but this guy, Dream Casper, no surprise here, standing tall in this 4-0 victory.
Johnny's showing you how to do this segue.
Johnny, you need to be the host moving forward.
No, I'll talk about Dream Casper for a bit, because actually, Striker, I think, was on many people's attention span. I can't even talk myself. Because he started to pop off, and yeah, I said a Striker would pop off, of course, but Dream Casper, he got most of the highlights actually in this game, and I think it really showed on his Widowmaker, on his Pharah gameplay. I think overall, Dream Casper with a standout performance here throughout, and this is his Widowmaker stats only, of course, and he has 27-4, so great stats from Dream Casper this game.
Yeah, good performance from that young man, and he has certainly earned that one. So he is your Omen by HP player of the match. So congratulations to him, and congratulations to the Boston Uprising. But a fun day here, guys. A fun day of Overwatch. We got to see the Valiant kind of...
We got to see you.
I know.
Soul Dynasty.
Everyone got to see me. Just me and only me. It's not about the games. It's about me. You know, that's the way that we wanted to be here at the Overwatch League. Isn't that right? Yes? No?
I miss your pocket.
Yeah. What? Come on, man.
He's yelling help.
Come on, man. That hurts. Words hurt. Okay, I'm only here once. I'm here 1 week out of each stage.
I love you, buddy. I love you.
Okay, thank you. Just Heartbreak City over here.
Yeah.
Heartbreak City. All right, let's take a look at the stage 2 standings here, because I gotta deal with this sadness. Seoul Dynasty, no surprise there.
Yeah, no sadness.
No sadness for them. They are at first place. But the LA Valiant are going to be in second. Now, keep in mind, this is going to be a temporary thing because you are going to have the New York Excelsior and the London Spitfire play. Granted, they could lose. Anything can happen, so I'm not trying to be...
Gladiators could also do it. They're 3-2. They could take a win and have the same stage 2 4-2 record.
But here's the interesting thing, gentlemen. Seoul Dynasty have taken first place currently in the overall standings. Once again, you know, this is not counting our next 2 days where we're going to have some more matches. And speaking of those matches, we're going to have the London Spitfire go up against the Boston Uprising. So they're going to have to go home and go to bed as quickly as they possibly can because they need to get ready for that matchup. And then NYXL will go up against the Philly Fusion. Oh, that is going to be an East Coast throwdown, baby.
This is a good day, man. All 3 of these matches could be anything.
Exactly. And the Florida Mayhem, they could be anything. The Florida Mayhem versus the Houston Outlaws. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, we know.
That's fun.
Really would not have thought that this was going to be very close based on the score that these 2 teams have, but with the way that they're both playing, Mayhem looking a little bit better, Houston slumping, it could go.
I'm ready for the East Coast throwdown, baby. That's all I want. I want that New York versus Philly hype.
Yeah.
That's what I'm all about.
The Bronx gameplay.
Yeah, you know, the Bronx versus, well, actually, it would be Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Probably, that's it. But
I don't know geography. I don't know Spanish.
Yeah, you don't know Spanish, geography, anime. It's like you're lacking on so many things.
I'll be back Saturday to talk Overwatch. That's
what are you overcompensating with?
Overwatch. That's all.
Yes, it's true. Yeah. Or, you know what?
Winston gameplay. Aim.
Winston gameplay.
That's all I do.
That's Johnny, 2018.
Yep. Reinhardt.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for the insight. Watch some anime culture yourself, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, like Avatar?
Yes, like, sure. Yeah. Whatever, we'll take it. Avatar.
Get out of here,
anything.
Avatar.
That's going to do it for us. The papers have been thrown. All right, guys, thank you so much. We'll catch you tomorrow. Plenty more Overwatch yet to come, and we'll see you tomorrow for some exciting games.